everyone, welcome you back in my geography class. Today in this video we will start with a new chapter and a new topic, that is population composition for class 12. So without wasting much time, let us start with our topic of population composition. Now when we talk about population, what do you mean by population? Population means the people and their attributes. So in this chapter, we will know that what composites the population. That means what are the ingredients of a population. Suppose when you will cook a dish, for example, if you will cook a soup, right? So what are the ingredients you need for a soup? Suppose it's a chicken soup. You need chicken, you need vegetables, you need different spices and sauce and water, right? So these are the ingredients. Similarly, the population, a given population also has certain ingredients. Like this is a population. What are the ingredients that a population has? The ingredients of a population is its sex composition, literacy, how much educated the population it is. You can say the education. Should know about the occupation that they are engaged in. They are living in rural or urban areas. Their life expectancy. Now this life expectancy depends on that where the person is living, like which country the person is living, what kind of technology, what kind of health facilities are available to that person. On that basis, the life expectancy will differ. We will also know about the marital status. So these are the ingredients of a population. So we will know about population composition. What is population composition? Now what is a population composition? Population composition is the description of the population and their characteristics like education, sex composition, marital status, life expectancy, etc. Now, why do we need a population composition? Or what is the importance of knowing the population composition? Because it provides a framework which helps to interpret the health status and behavior of the people. And also we get to know about the economic condition of the people. Now in this chapter we will know about the attributes that are sex composition, age structure, where we will know about the age-sex pyramid, the rural-urban composition, literacy, and occupational structure. Now, firstly, we will understand about the sex composition. Now, what is sex composition? Sex composition means the number of female, or we can say women, and male, that is men, in a country. It is an important demographic characteristic. Now, what is a sex ratio? A sex ratio is defined as the ratio between the number of women and men in a population. Now, different countries use different parameters to calculate the sex ratio. If you talk about the developed nations, they calculate the sex ratio by using the following formula, that is number of males divided by number of females, or we can say number of males per 1,000 females. Now, in our country India, we use a different method or different formula to calculate the sex ratio. What we do, how do we calculate? In India, we calculate the sex ratio by following this formula. Number of females divided by number of males, or number of females per 1,000 males. So in India, we calculate the sex ratio by following this formula, number of females divided by number of males, or we can say number of females per 1,000 males. According to the 2011 census, the sex ratio of India is 940 females per 1,000 males, which has reduced to 927 females per 1,000 males in 2020. The state which has the highest sex ratio is Kerala, where we will see the sex ratio is 1084 female per 1,000 males. So the highest is Kerala. Per 1,000 male, and the lowest is Haryana. The lowest is Haryana, where we will see it has 879 female per 1,000 male. Now we need to also understand about the child sex ratio. Now, what is child sex ratio? Child sex ratio means the number of females per thousand males in the age group 0 to 6 years. Now, so what is child sex ratio? It is number of females per thousand males in the age group 0 to 6 years. According to the recent data 2011 census, we will see that the child sex ratio in India is 914 girls, females, you can say that per thousand boys. Now, let us compare the child sex ratio of the world and India. As I have already explained to you the definition of child sex ratio, that is the number of female per thousand male in the age group of 0 to 6 years. Now, according to the 2011 data of the global sex ratio for the world, there are 986 girls per thousand boys. And in terms of India, the report of 2011 census, we can say that we have 914 girls per thousand boys in our country, India. As we can see that the gap between India's female and male population is constantly expanding. In the year 1991, it was 531 million males and 495 million females. In the year 2001, it is 532 million males and 496 million females. In the year 2011, it is 623 million males and 586 million females. So we can see that constantly the gap between the India's female and male population is expanding and the female population is lowering down. Here, as you can have an idea that this is our sex ratio and this is our overall sex ratio. So we can see that our sex ratio has somewhat increased from 927 in 1991 to 927 in 2001 and 940 in 2011, which has again reduced in the year 2020. As I have mentioned, we can also see that if we will talk about the child sex ratio, it has lowered down, and we will say that in 2011 it is the lowest, like it was 945 in 1991, 933 in the year 2001 and 914 in the year 2011, which is the lowest. So we can understand that there are so many unfavorable situations which are leading to the reduction or the lowering down of the sex ratio, both the overall sex ratio and the child sex ratio. Now, we will notice that gender discrimination is rampant in many areas. Now, the areas where we will see that gender discrimination is rampant, there the sex ratio will be unfavorable for the woman. Now, what are the causes for this unfavorable sex ratio? It can be killing of women for domestic violence. It can be female infanticide, female auticide. This can be the reasons which are leading to unfavorable sex ratio for the woman. That means this may be the regions where women are not given equal rights or opportunities. They are not empowered so that they can stand for their rights. Like if we will take an example of a rural area, where the number of female is high. And by this we can conclude that yes, here the number of female is high. That means this region is very favorable for women. No, it is not. We cannot say like that, that if a place where we have more number of women, that means it is more favorable for the women. As sex ratio is more high for the women. No. Why? Because here maybe male migration is higher. As male has went for job to other cities, so the female are left there in the rural areas and they are left there with their families. So here we can say that they are not given equal right. They are not that much empowered so that they can stand up for their rights. They are not given right to work, right? So it actually highlights that maybe their number is high in the rural areas. Number of females are much larger compared to male in the rural areas. But that doesn't mean that here the sex ratio is favorable. Now, what does this sex ratio implies? Now, all this killing of women for violence, female infanticide, these are the result of low economic and social development in a country. Why do we need to know about the sex composition? The most important fact is that it helps us to know about the status of women. Now let us see that why there is unfavorable sex ratio, especially in India. In India, we will see that the number of males outnumber the number of females. What are the reasons? India is a male-dominated society. From the early period, we will see that the women are not given any rights. Here, we will see that the society is orthodox and there is a great demand of male. Like, there have to be male child in the family. If there will be only girl child, that daughter-in-law will not be allowed to stay back at their home because they need a hire. They need a male child in that family. So we will see most of the time killing of fetus, female fetus, is very common in India. Increasing domestic violence, as men think they are the most powerful one and they are the gods and they are the supreme power and they need to be worshipped. So here we can see that domestic violence is a major issue in countries like India, where we will see that girls are killed most of the time for dowry, or if they're unable to give a male child to the family. Increasing rate of rape cases in India. Not empowered to stand up for their rights. Illiterate. They are not given the right to go to school. So illiteracy is a bigger problem. Low medical facilities. We can say lack of medical facilities. Now, due to lack of medical facilities, we will see that girls, they are dying at a very early age because they don't have the capacity to bear a child. And that is why, because most of the time the girls are getting married at a very early age, so they are not going the childbearing age, and before that only they are getting pregnant with the child, and that is why they are dying. So marriage at low age, you will see that below 14 years the girls are married, and in fact they do have their child also. So these are the reasons which are leading to unfavorable sex ratio for the females in India. Now if we will see that in world, on an average, the world population, number of males 102 per 100 females. Like if we will go to Latvia, here we will see that the number of females are more. It is 85 males per 100 females. According to the recent data, 187 females per 1000 males. If we will go to Qatar, there we will see 351 males per 100 females. Like in UAE, we will see they have less than 500 females per 1000 males. Now, so if you will see, according to the World Population Report, we will say that there are countries where the condition of women, the sex composition or sex ratio of women is favorable, and there are some countries where the sex composition or the sex ratio is unfavorable for the woman. So what we can conclude that on average, if we will talk about the world population, then we will see that yes, the number of males are outnumbering the number of females. But there are countries where we will see that the female sex ratio is favorable, and there are certain countries where the female sex ratio is unfavorable, which we will understand with the help of a world map. According to the United Nations World Population Report, we can see that the share of population varies across the world. That is, the share of female and male varies across the world. According to the recent data, we can see that the world male population is 3724132, which is much higher compared to the world female population, which is 3658877. Which highlights that there is unfavorable situation which leads to imbalance in the female and male sex ratio, where the males are outnumbering the females. Now let us look at the world map. Now let us have a look at the world map. Here different countries in the world are represented with different colors. Mainly three colors are used: green, blue and red. Now let us see what does this color represents. The color blue represents the countries with more females than males. The color green represents the countries with same number of males and females. And the color red represents the countries with more males than females. And there are certain countries whose data are not available, and they are represented with ash color. Of the 201 nations for which the United Nations has provided the population data, we can see that 125 nations have more number of women compared to men. But the percentage varies from 50.1% to 54.2%. Here we will see that the variation in sex ratio in developed, developing and underdeveloped nation. Now let us see that in the most of the Asian countries, we will see that the number of males is much lower compared to females. In most of the Asian countries, the number of males is much higher compared to females. So we can see that here we have more number of males compared to females. That means there is a low sex ratio. The countries like China, India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, they have more number of males compared to females. The Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Oman, Qatar, they also have more number of males compared to females. Qatar has the highest male population. On the other hand, the greater part of Europe, Russia, we will see that here the males are in minority. That means there are deficit in males. So we can say that females are outnumbering the males. Now as we can see that here the males are in deficit, so it has attributed to the better status of women. There are other countries like Ukraine, Lithuania, Estonia, Belarus, Georgia and Zimbabwe, where we can see that the number of female is much more compared to the number of male. According to the recent data given by the United Nations, there are 139 countries which are favorable in female sex ratio, and there are 72 countries which are unfavorable. So we will see that there can be a wide variation in the sex ratio of male and female in the countries worldwide. That means there can be countries where we will see that the female sex ratio is favorable, and there will be countries where we will see that the female sex ratio is unfavorable. So what we learned in today's video, we learned about the population composition, we learned about the sex composition, sex ratio, and how do we calculate the sex ratio in the developed nations and in a country like India. What are the reasons for unfavorable sex ratio, especially in a country like India? Also, we learned about the different sex ratio that we can see worldwide, right? So what you will do, you will read your NCERT in between the lines. You will follow the full video. You have to watch the full video so that you can understand. Hope you will get benefited. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and do comment for any suggestion or if you have any problem. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon for further notification of my upcoming videos. Till then, stay safe and stay at your home. Wait till I come back with my next video where we will discuss about the age structure and the X-sex pyramid. Till then, stay at your home and stay safe. Thank you.